But first, I want to start with the war on freedom of expression today in America and the attempts by liberal fascists to silence conservative voices. That is tonight's very important opening monologue. I have to start tonight by addressing a well-orchestrated effort by the intolerant left in this country that is designed to silence every conservative voice and by any means necessary. Now, I am speaking out tonight so that you, our audience, will understand what is really happening here and what is really at stake when it comes to freedom of speech in this country. Now, these tactics are right out of Saul Alinsky's Rule for Radicals playbook. Now, I've worked in radio for 30 years. I've been right here at the Fox News Channel for 21 and a half years. I'm very proud of that. And during this time, there's always been efforts and attempts to smear and slander and besmirch me and other conservatives, but it has never been as intense and completely insane as it is right now. Now, I want you to understand, every single minute, every single second I am on the air, radio, TV, there's somebody likely being paid, recording and monitoring every single word that comes out of my mouth, all in the hopes that I may say something they can twist and distort and use against me and try and destroy my reputation, get my conservative voice off the air. Now, it's only gotten worse in the age of President Trump. Now, it's no secret I've been a supporter of the president and, of course, his policies. And quite simply, these liberal fascists, they can't stand conservative voices. Now, for those of you who don't know me well, I have a pretty thick skin. I call out people, I say things, I give my point of view 4 hours a day. And for all these years, well, there has been endless, unrelenting attacks against me. But now, in light of recent events, I have come to the conclusion I can no longer remain silent, and I can no longer let the left slander against me slide. So from now on, and I want you to be informed of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, if there's any person, any group, any organization, any media outlet that slanders, lies about me, besmirches me, my character, I'm going to be calling them out. Because at this point, enough is enough. I have hired a team of some of the best attorneys in this country to work with me and on my behalf. Now, the breaking point for me came this weekend when an individual who for over a decade has made the most outrageous, unfair, untrue allegations against me has now resurfaced by making ridiculous and completely untrue claims. Now, this person went on a radio show on Friday and made more unfounded accusations against me, which this person is now, interestingly, recanting after I made my statement, but it was only after I responded to these baseless and false smears. This is not the first time I've had to deal with this individual. Now, this person has repeatedly spread lies about me. I'll give you an example. Back in 2010, remember I was raising money for the Freedom Alliance, a charity that offers college scholarships to the children of killed veterans, severely injured veterans, and their families. And in a blog post, the individual falsely accused me and members of the charity of skimming and stealing money that was donated. This, of course, was easily proven false. And in spite of the fact that we proved each and every single allegation to be untrue and inaccurate at the time, I was never given an apology. There was no correction that was issued. Now this person has made yet another slanderous accusation, and in response, I've released this statement, which now the press has picked up, and I'll read it for you. Let me be clear. The comments about me on a radio show this week by this individual are 100% false and a complete fabrication. This individual is a serial harasser who has been lying about me for well over a decade. The individual has a history of making provably false statements against me in an effort to slander, smear, besmirch my reputation. The individual has not just slandered me over the years, but also many people who this individual disagrees with. This individual desperately seeks attention by any means necessary, including making unfounded personal attacks and using indefensible and outrageous political rhetoric. My patience with this individual is over. I have retained a team of some of the finest and toughest lawyers in the country who are now in the process of laying out the legal course of action we will be taking against this individual. Now, in this fiercely divided and vindictive political climate, I will no longer allow slander and lies about me to go unchallenged, as I see this now to be a coordinated effort afoot to now silence those with conservative views. I will fight every single lie about me by any and all legal means available to me as an American. Now, I want you to know, my audience, to understand the importance of what is happening here. This is not about Sean Hannity. This is not about one person. There's now a coordinated attempt to silence the voice of every outspoken conservative in this country. If we don't stop it right now, there won't be any conservative voices on radio and television left. Now, I'm not the only one that these liberal fascists routinely target. Like me, conservatives are monitored on radio and TV, every word they say. And contrary to the alt-radical left stated position, they're so open-minded liberals. Not true. Liberal fascism is alive and well in America today. Their goal is simple. They want to shut up, shut down, completely silence all conservative voices by any means necessary. Here's the difference. Unlike the left, I don't have any problem with what the other side says. If you want to listen to liberals on radio or TV, read their articles, follow them on social media, go for it. Now, I'll call them out for their bias. I'll explain why they're wrong. I'll debate them, but I'll never, ever say they should be silenced. And I won't support boycotts to attack their advertisers, a roundabout way of silencing them. So let me be clear tonight. Everyone who has publicly supported President Trump is a target. This is very political. We have seen repeatedly that the left knows no limits in these efforts. They have gone after and attacked the First Lady. They have attacked members of the president's family, every White House advisor. They've even attacked his daughter and his 10-year-old son. Now, ultimately, their goal is to cause as much collateral damage as they can to anybody that supports the president. They have tried to undermine the outcome of this election since November 9th. Please know, this isn't about me. This is about the left concocting boycotts, all in an attempt to silence prominent conservative voices. If we don't take a stand now, if we allow this to happen now, I am telling you, America as we know it, freedom of speech as we know it, is over. Let's stop the boycotts. Let's stop silencing opposition voices. Let all Americans make their own decisions.
Shitting all over your face. For how long you're going to allow this? For how long you're going to allow this inhumane and unprecedented behavior of really half humans walking this earth? What else has to happen to you so you can finally start standing up? So you can finally start saying the truth that you had enough? Even if you didn't, even if you decide to become or stay dormant or become obedient as you never before, maybe the situations will change. It will not. Until you stand up and stop these inhumane behaviors towards yourself. Many times I said, you will not be able to help me, but you can only help yourself when you start standing up. When you start bringing every single aspect of wrongdoings towards you as a decent human that has to be addressed immediately. Not in 100 years, not in the next century, not when the laws change or a new government comes in place. No, now. Otherwise, you are absolutely non-human. And I cannot suggest you that you behave humanely because you don't see yourself as a human. You don't want to become an absolutely free human who can stand up for his or her rights. So when this shit will stop going all over you, going all over your energies? Never. Never if you don't stand up. Never if you start truly finding who's the most responsible for what's happening to you. 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 So, can you help anybody else around? Absolutely not. Because you don't want to help yourself. You still think you're lower than the worms. This is how you treat yourself. You allow these dark magicians of governance, media, all the aliens from who knows when they came here and they pretend They're your best friend. They give you a candy in the form of technology. You go in and kill millions of other humans. Is this humane? I cannot address you nicely anymore. I don't see any benefit of me talking to you as a sane human. You're just shit-covered leftovers of blur, of nothing that is just existing or surviving into fecuses of all these aliens that were shitting all over the planet for centuries. And you still don't dare to recognize this and say it's enough. What else has to happen to you? What else has to trigger you to start behaving as an absolutely free human? Because free human is not afraid of death. Free human is not afraid of other people's judgment. Free human is never afraid of aliens who are actually a lower species on a scale of humanity. Because you're the only human who can inhabit this planet until you sell it out completely. So, what to do? I don't know. I really don't know. I thought I gave some kind of good guidance to some, but absolutely there is very little interest for something that will bring you a freedom. I mean, I see some good and light beings around. One of them, if you just watch the video that I'll include here, is Sean Hannity, the Fox News anchor, and his speech and his actions, that he had enough. Another one is Trump. But he's there to actually trigger you to you start behaving bravely as Hannity did, as Sean did, or as Assange did for many, many years, or any of others who are openly saying that this is not a humane way of living. But only one who can change for you your status is you. Sean Hannity cannot save your poor ass, but he will save his own by stating very openly that was enough. None of the other dark propaganda magicians will be able to do some bad talking about him and doing a very wrongful things against his very, very humane acts towards freedom for all the Americans. That supporting Trump, he has absolute right to do this. Like whoever else supported Hillary, they have to do this. They have right to do this, but not in the way that you go against others because he has a different opinion. This is not humane. You bring yourself into a position where you can stand up and say freely what you think. Anne Kotlier, one of the bravest female activists for true freedom of humanity. See what they're doing now with her in free speech, let's say, in Berkeley. But she's standing tall. She's one of really a true beacons of light, of humanity's light, inside the United States. So tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe 26th of April, when Trump announced about the financial changes in the world, what are you going to do? Where are you going to be? This will be your 9/11 moment, but in a very positive way. Yet, are you going to stand up after that tall and say, yes, I did something to help others, like Sean, like Anne, like Julian Assange? Can you say this? Or are you waiting for Trump to save you? Or anybody else, Le Pen? she's new president of France. So, give these beautiful people a chance, these light beings a chance to really help you from being in the places where they are, in the media, in the governments, in the activism world, in education world, that they really try to show the world how inhumanely we were living. Another one, Ola Demigard. Beautiful being who's not afraid to be chased around all the Europe and from his own country because he cannot tell the truth in their country, but he found the ways, so he's telling the truth even more. So living in the shithole is not humane. Living in the feces of all the aliens is not a living. This is just a surviving until next reincarnation, where they bring you back in to feed off you. This is what we're doing. All these dark alien species. But nobody is daring to talk about this, but few of us, yet you can try to smudge it up as a conspiracy theory, but do I care? You're still eaten, you're still disappearing. With every day that is passing that you're not a real human, you are disappearing. And they're chewing on you, they're chewing on your bones, chewing on your blood, chewing on your energy field, every single moment, until you stand tall and say, it's enough. It is enough of this behavior, which is not humane. Watch Hannity, Sean. Observe how he stand up tall. And he openly stated, whoever dares, from this moment, dares to touch his humanity and his behavior as absolutely from the heart behavior, he will be penalized. And I vouch for him that whoever stands up tall in front of the camera, in front of a group of people and say, that's enough, I will vouch for you.